Aloha and welcome to the East Oahu Realty Report, third quarter 2018.
If we look at the big picture, U.S. house prices rose 6.5%, but the increase in the second quarter, only 1.1%, marks the slowest pace of quarterly appreciation we have seen in the past 4 years. This could be a sign of a slowdown in some areas. The slowdown is most visible in the Pacific Division, which often records the strongest numbers in the country. We saw appreciation of only 0.6%, its slowest quarterly rise since 2011. The Mountain Division saw the highest increases at 9.5%. The top states consisted of Nevada, Idaho, and Utah.
The state of Hawaii is ranked 36th with about 5% appreciation. On the other end of the spectrum, the states with the smallest gains are Alaska, Connecticut, West Virginia, Louisiana, and North Dakota, which all had four-quarter house price gains of under 3%. Recent gains in mortgage rates have been a big contributor to the slower gains in some of the long-time appreciating areas.
The city and county of Honolulu is up almost 1% year over year. Honolulu is ranked 176th in the nation after cities like number 1, Las Vegas, Henderson, Paradise, Nevada, and number 2, Boise City, Idaho, both up around 16 to 17%.
If we look at the nation's current financial stress index, it is at -1 point. You can see we are down from the index's highs of nearly 6 points during the last recession, highlighted in red.
In September, the majority of the supply indicators are up across the board. However, from active and new listings to months of supply, the numbers remain historically low at about 3 months of supply.
There was almost a 4% decrease in single-family home closings to nearly 2,800 sales. Condominiums remain constant from last year to nearly 4,400 sold units through the third quarter. Over time, we can see the peak and trough pattern that demand follows.
If we overlay months' supply on this demand chart, we can see the inverse relationship between supply and demand over the past 31 years. Currently, supply is low and demand is high.
The effect of this low supply and high demand is likely what is putting upward pressure on median sales price.
In September, prices rose about 7% to just over $812,000 for single-family homes.
Condominiums were up about 1% to $428,000.
If we compare market velocity and price point on Oahu single-family homes, we see it is fairly consistent at the low end of prices, at around 20 days on the market to sell. Once we hit $1.1 to $1.9 million, it takes 59% longer, and then at $1.9 million plus, the breaking point, it jumps 82% to 49 days to sell. The breaking point is at about $1.1 million. Anything below that in single-family homes on average is sold in several weeks, and above that could take months. For condominiums, the break occurs roughly at $700,000.
Days on market is a good measure of market velocity or how quickly homes are selling. In the third quarter, market velocity for single-family homes is about 17 days and 3 weeks for condominiums. These numbers are down about 21% for single-family homes and 5% for condominiums.
The line in the graph represents an index that tracks Hawaii's economic activity. We can see the last 5 U.S. recessions highlighted in gray. Since the spring of 2010, the index has recovered 32 points.
Visitor numbers have increased by 6 to 10% through the third quarter of 2018. This marks over 6 straight years of increased record gains in tourism.
In summary, for the third quarter of 2018, prices were up for both categories and supply remains low. Market velocity is between about 2 and 3 weeks to sell property, and there is stability in Hawaii's economy.
The neighborhood of the quarter is Kailua Condominiums. Demand is up. There was an 8% increase to 84 closed sales through the third quarter. Supply has decreased. There was a 5% decrease in new listings to 111. This high demand and low supply through the third quarter may have caused Kailua condominiums' median price to rise 21% to $672,000. These numbers earn Kailua condominiums the neighborhood of the quarter. East Oahu Realty, at home in the islands. Thank you for watching, and until next quarter, aloha.